Hey y'all, what's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Tay, and I'm here yet again with another update video. So definitely make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video you will be notified. So really quickly before I forget, so I had one of you guys actually make a comment down below in the comment section yesterday, and I did save it in my phone. You asked for a shout out, and I definitely want to do that for you to let you guys know that I do pay attention to your comments, which I'm pretty sure you guys already know because I respond to them. But we have a Bernica Thomas who says, "Hey lady, how are you? I love watching your video. Could you give me a shout out?" So I am giving a shout out to you, Bernica Thomas. I really truly appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys, okay, that take the time to comment, that take the time to watch my video. Obviously the way this works is I wouldn't have a channel if there was nobody to watch my channel, okay? I will kind of basically just be on here talking to nobody. So I just want to put that out there and let you guys know that I really truly appreciate every single last one of you, and I truly mean that. I hope you guys see the dedication that I put in to this channel and trying to provide you guys with the information that you want to know, okay? You know, this has been a journey for me. It still continues to be a journey for me. When I started this, I really had no idea of what I wanted to do, what type of channel I wanted to do. Of course, this was all pre-pandemic. This was before everything started to happen with the virus and everything, but you know, I've always known and I've always had that inkling within myself that I wanted to do something for other people. Okay. I'm still in the process of trying to get some nonprofit organizations together because I really want to give back. You know what I mean? I have a lot of great ideas that I want to bring into fruition in terms of being of service to the community, not just on this platform, but just actually, you know, doing the legwork, actually going out there and actually, you know, seeing what's going on in these streets. Cause I see it. You know, I'm living here, I'm living in them, but you know, I definitely want to do more hands-on things in the near future. So I just wanted to put that out there. So again, a really big shout out to Bernica Thomas. I do appreciate you guys. And yeah, let's jump right into this video. So let's go to the internet because I did save some info over there. So we're going to check on that. There was an article that came out. Let me check the date. This is by The Sun. And this came out, when did this come out? This came out yesterday, the 21st. It's basically another, I want to say it's more like a review of what's going on in terms of state-specific stimulus. It says many workers who were displaced during the early months in the pandemic and faced long-term unemployment are now transitioning back into the workforce and starting to rebuild. This is coming from Lamont, and I don't know who Lamont is, but in Connecticut, it says Governor Ned Lamont, oh, that's who it is. Governor Ned Lamont announced the Back to Work program for $1,000 in a stimulus check starting on May 30th of this year, which will continue all the way up until December 31st of this year. So in Connecticut, you guys are supposed to be getting a $1,000 stimulus check. I don't necessarily consider that to be a stimulus check, but it says this is a one-time bonus payment that will help some of those workers pay for the critical things they need to get back to work, including childcare. This is the latest tool in our toolbox to maximize our state's recovery from the pandemic. We're still in the thick of the pandemic. I don't know what they're talking about. And that one-time payment of $1,000 for those of you guys who have kids, or who've had kids and know what it's like to pay childcare, $1,000. I'm not trying to sound too critical of it, but it's a one-time payment of $1,000. And when people are working, they most likely have to pay every week, every day. You know what I mean? Depending on the arrangement, if they're taking their children to a actual childcare facility, or if there's a childcare person that comes to their home, or if they're paying a family member, or whatever the case may be, payments are not just a one-time thing. You know what I mean? I know when I tried to do some childcare, again, this was all pre-pandemic. I was working at a supermarket, and you guys know what a supermarket, you know, it's a retail job. You can't get weekends off. You know what I mean? They kind of need you based on the demand of the business. And my schedule was kind of bouncing around from week to week to week to week. And I needed childcare, especially for my son. He was still pretty young at the time, but it was costing me, they wanted $15 an hour, and I was only getting $12 an hour. So, unfortunately, I ended up working just to pay the babysitter until finally I was like, okay, I have to figure something else out because this isn't really working. And the unfortunate thing with these childcare programs that they do have is that there's too many specific requirements that everybody doesn't meet. I tried to look into a childcare program in my area. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Options. But one of the people that work there told me that you know, because my children are here 50% of the time, because we have I have split custody or whatever type situation with them, they would have to be here 100% of the time in order for me to get immediate assistance. But with the 2 kids that I do have, they put me on a waiting list. My son is 4. That was maybe two years ago. So it's like, there's no point. It's like Section 8. You have all these programs, but then we're on a list forever. So it's not really offering any assistance. You guys get what I'm trying to say? But anyways, there's $1,000. If you guys haven't received it in Connecticut, you should be getting it by the end of this year. Okay. Moving on from that, because I don't know what that was about. This actually came out today. This is from Kansas. It says Governor Kelly wants Kansans to get a $250 tax rebate. So this literally is the same thing that they're doing in California with the Golden State stimulus. It's because they have an overwhelming amount of tax surplus money left over, and they're giving it back to the residents. So it says Kansas Governor Laura Kelly wants the legislator to give every Kansas taxpayer $250, but you won't get it until next year, unfortunately. The $455 million proposal, which the governor announced Wednesday, would draw from the state's anticipated $2.9 billion surplus for the 2021 fiscal year that ends in June. Okay. Residents who file returns would automatically be eligible for the one-time payment, non-taxable direct payment. Individual filers would be eligible for $250, while of course married couples filing jointly would receive $500. The Democratic governor's proposal comes as she and lawmakers grapple over how to spend the influx of cash hitting the state's general fund. How to spend the influx of cash when we're in the middle of a pandemic. Did you guys hear what I just said about childcare? What about housing? You have $2.9 billion that you're anticipated to have, and you're spending $455 million. So that means that there's still going to be a significant amount of money left over. You're only giving everybody $250, or those who are eligible, $250, and then $500 for couples. So with that extra money, I'm pretty sure there are programs out there in Kansas that you guys who live in Kansas would love to see, actually do what they're supposed to do. Housing, homelessness, healthcare. I'm not a politician. Why am I the only one thinking about this? It says the Republican-controlled legislators' annual session begins January 10th. Okay, if the state's economic condition remains unchanged, analysts are predicting a $2.9 billion surplus by midsummer. Summer, and a $3.7 billion surplus for the following year. It's a sharp departure from the budget's shortfalls Kansas experienced amid income tax cuts championed by Governor Sam Brownback, reductions that lawmakers eventually rolled back. Multiple factors led to the surplus, including costs offset by federal relief dollars, and a swifter than expected economic recovery. So I don't know what economic recovery they're talking about. Y'all are going to have to let me know down in the comment section if y'all seen anything that points to a swift economic recovery. I'm pretty sure they're looking at the money side of things and businesses, and whether businesses are actually receiving more money now because they're open for business, whereas a lot of businesses has to close down. So in that, I can see maybe some changes in a positive light in that aspect, but I really don't see why all the governors, all the Senate, all the House of Representatives, why they keep talking about the fact that, or making it seem like as if we're out of the pandemic when we're not. Okay. And we're going to get into how things are going with the pandemic. It says Kelly faces a tough re-election campaign in 2022 against likely Republican nominee Derek Schmidt, the Attorney General. Both candidates have already endorsed cutting the state's 6.5% sales tax on food at a cost of roughly $400 million. So the way this article is going, even though it's giving you information about the possibility of a $250 to $500 tax rebate payment sometime next year, it's basically being mocked up to say that they think that this is basically a campaign gimmick that she's utilizing because she's fighting for that seat. Okay, so I just want you guys to be aware. It literally says GOP calls it an election year gimmick. So they're basically saying she's trying to give you guys money just so that she can stay in the forefront of y'all's brain when it comes to voting to keep her in office or to put her in office. All right. Yeah. But I've said that to you guys. That's why this is why I say I don't trust politicians at the end of the day, whether they're giving us money or not. You know what I mean? $1,000, that's not going to help. You know what I mean? Everybody is feeling some type of way about California getting their $600 or their $1,100. That's a one-time payment. That is not going to help much of anything, especially if a person is already behind in their bills. If they owe $3,000 in rent, then that $1,100 is going to be gone. Unless that's not even including the fact that they may be behind on their gas bill, on their electricity. What about putting food on the table? Because everybody is not receiving SNAP benefits or pandemic EBT. So realistically, even though these states are giving out money, it's still not enough. There are a lot of things that they could be doing. There's a lot of things that they're doing with this money that they should not be doing, but we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that because they're not talking about that. Okay. They just want us to see, oh yeah, we're giving you stimulus. We gave you a couple of stimulus, but those stimulus payments came short lived. Okay. They came months later. You guys had to negotiate for damn near the whole year. Okay. And like I said, by the time you guys did get that money out to the people were so like, I mean, I can only imagine people were literally trying to figure out, should I put this $100 towards putting food in the house, or should I put this $100 towards keeping my lights on? You know what I mean? It has been that bad. It is still that bad for many people out there. And I don't see why they don't see it. I don't understand it. It's not making any sense to me. Y'all help me understand it. Help me make some sense out of their lack of common sense. Okay. Moving on from that, let's talk about what's going on with the pandemic. Okay. So this article literally just popped up across my screen right now. I didn't even get a chance to save it. So we're reading this together, as I find it. Come on, advertisement, get on. Okay. So California, wait a minute. Hold up. As soon as I went to look at it, it disappeared. Let me go back to it. All right. California to distribute test to K through 12 students as the new variant spreads through the state. Faced with the rapidly spreading Omicron variant of the virus, state officials unveiled plans yesterday to provide rapid tests for students in K through 12 public schools and expand hours at busy screening sites. Those efforts, along with the previously announced requirement that healthcare workers must receive a vaccine booster, are the latest steps aimed at repelling the highly mutated variant, okay, which has spread rapidly nationwide since the first case was confirmed in San Francisco not more than 3 weeks ago. The new booster requirement applies to workers in healthcare and high-risk congregate settings such as nursing homes. An estimated 2.5 million healthcare workers will be covered by the mandate, officials said. Employees in those areas will need to be boosted by February the 1st. Those who have not received their additional dose will be tested twice a week until the deadline. Governor Gavin Newsom said this yesterday in a news briefing. Officials said the mandate will protect both workers and the vulnerable populations they serve, as well as help keep available healthcare staffing at the level needed to navigate a possible patient surge. Okay. Employees in hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, clinics, doctor's office, hospice facilities, dialysis centers, and most other healthcare settings already are required to have completed their initial inoculation series. Okay. So we are not out of the pandemic. And I believe that all of those states that, have rescinded their state of emergency need to go back and declare it a state of an emergency. Okay. Because people are already predicting it's already getting worse. I'm pretty sure you guys are already seeing it. I know a lot of you guys have already commented saying that your state has already put a lot more mandates back into play that they had not recently, but that they had lifted when they thought everything was going to get back to normal. Okay. But let's move on, right? Let's move on. Let's keep talking about it. Let's jump from that and let's jump into a little bit of good news, because I saw this and this is good news, especially for me. Biden administration is going to extend the pause on student loan payments until May. It says the Biden administration announced Wednesday that the moratorium on the federal student loan payments would be extended through May 1st of 2022 as the highly transmissible Omicron variant of the virus poses a new threat to the economy. But the economy is recovering, right, y'all? It's recovering, right? In a statement, President Joe Biden said that millions of student loan borrowers are still coping with the impacts of the pandemic and need some more time before resuming payments. Yes. Hallelujah. Okay. In a statement, President Joe Biden said that millions of student loan. Okay. We already said that. The White House for months maintained that Biden would not extend the pause beyond the January 31st deadline, warning borrowers that they should be prepared to resume payments in February, even as the virus case numbers increased and as inflation concerns gripped the country. Okay, the administration's language began to soften in recent days as the Omicron variant spread rapidly, with the White House press secretary Jen Psaki telling reporters on Tuesday that the president had not made a decision yet on whether to issue another extension. Debt relief advocates and some Democratic lawmakers had pressured Biden to extend the moratorium, especially after Senator Joe Manchin, the Democratic representative of West Virginia, said he would not vote for the president's Build Back Better Act, throwing its prospect into doubt. Okay, the White House has said that the plan would address inflation concerns by lowering costs for items like prescription drugs and child care. The Omicron variant is a scary reminder that the pandemic is still a serious concern, and Americans cannot be crushed by student debt as they shoulder this health and economic crisis. This is coming from Natalia Abrams, who is the president of the Student Debt Crisis Center. So thank you, Natalia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is why I say this, and I still believe this. Okay, I do believe that a person who intends on being a politician, who intends on putting themselves up there to be a representative for the American people, is important. But I also feel like that person should not just have a political background, meaning they should just not be a person who study whatever classes you need to study in order to become a politician. I believe this person should have some background in actually dealing with these issues. Okay, if you are a person who is dealing with, like this person here, I don't really know her job description, I don't know what she's supposed to be doing, but I would imagine that as a person who is dealing with the debt crisis of student loans, that she's seeing the numbers of students, and not even, you know, adults, teenagers, whatever, who are struggling with making these payments. So that would make her qualified to suggest that the student loan payments be paused for an extended period of time. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm basically, I don't know if I'm saying it right, y'all. Give me a minute to get my thoughts together, but I'm basically trying to say that I feel like those who are wealthy, come from a wealthy background, don't have enough experience and know-how to understand what it's really like when you're living in these situations that I just expressed to you guys. People who are literally have to decide between whether to put food on the table or to keep their lights on or to pay for their shelter. Maybe they don't have enough money to keep the lights on, but they have a little bit of money they can put towards making sure that they're not evicted because they don't want to be out there on the streets. Okay, but feeding their children nothing but bread and water, literally. People who don't have those experiences, people who have not experienced this type of struggle, I feel like it's a little bit harder for them to relate. It's a little bit harder for us to be able to relate to them because they're speaking from a different point of view. It doesn't mean that their point of view is wrong, but I just feel like it's a different point of view. And sometimes that point of view is geared more towards them and their personal experiences, if that makes sense. So I would rather appreciate someone who's up there, who I know, I don't mean that they have to be homeless, who had to have living, you know, sleeping by the freeway, but someone who has a little bit more experience, someone who's dealt with it either in their personal life or who's had some experience dealing with it in a job or something. But not you just wake up like Arnold Schwarzenegger and say, hey, you know what? I want to be the governor of California. I still am sitting here trying to make myself understand how that happened. How did you go from the Terminator to becoming the governor? I don't get it. I'm still confused, but that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And he was a horrible governor to me. He was horrible. He was horrible. But anyways, let's move on. That's good news. That's good news. That's good news. That's good news. Moving on from that, I think there was something else that I wanted to, what is this? Hold on. I got a little bit off track. Okay, but yeah, that is pretty much all I want to give you guys on that. I think that so far we do have a little bit of good news in today's video. The reality is that we've got a lot more healing to do, both mentally, emotionally, you know what I'm saying, the economy, all of that. But moving on, let me take a quick look and see if there's anything that has changed with emergency SNAP maximum benefits for the month of January. Excuse me. Let's see here. I did check it early this morning and nothing had changed. But I'm going to check it again, see if we have some additional states that have been approved. Nope. So as of today, which is, what is today? December the 22nd. No additional states have been approved for emergency SNAP maximum benefits for the month of January. So I did give you guys the payout information in yesterday's video, so I suggest you guys check that out. I'm not going to do it in this video, but I will tell you that the names of those states is Iowa, Oklahoma, Washington, and Wyoming. All right, now that is absolutely all that I have for you guys in today's video. I hope this information was in some way helpful or useful to you guys in the very least little bit, but don't forget to smash that like button down below, because it really does help to let YouTube know that you like what I'm doing and you want to see me stick around for a long while. I want to stick around for a long while. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my new channel, which is Live, Love, Elevate 2. I will have the link for my new channel in the description box down below. And on that note, you guys, I'm going to say, as always, my heart truly goes out to you guys. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. I mean, there's no amount of words that will allow me to express just the love and the appreciation that I get from you guys. And that ultimately is why I continue to do what I do. Okay. I do read you guys' comments when you're telling me to keep up the good work, when you're telling me that you appreciate everything that I'm doing, when you're telling me that I'm bringing the news, even though sometimes the news be a little late, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. It's all right. You know, y'all know I'm a mom, so I try to get it to you as much as I possibly can. And just on that note, you guys, woo, when I tell you guys, it has been a struggle with my daughter and her broken ankle. It is really a struggle. Like me and her sisters, it's a whole process. We have to help her take a shower. You know what I mean? We have to keep her cast from getting wet because she doesn't have the real cast on. She can't get the real cast wet either. But because this one is not even the real cast, she's got a lot more cloth involved. And of course, we don't want that to get wet and mildew and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a process. Like when I tell you guys, it's like an assembly line. We got to roll it up. Well, I wrap it up with a big garbage bag, and then I wrap a towel around it, and then I have a child standing there to hold her leg to make sure that whatever water that's coming down while I'm giving her a shower doesn't go into her cast. So they're literally like patting it down, making sure that it's a whole process. Okay. I'm glad that we're coming together as a family to make sure that she's okay and she's comfortable. You know, my baby's birthday, it sucks too because her birthday is Christmas Eve. If I didn't tell you guys, my baby's birthday is December the 24th. I know I'm kind of blabbing on right now, but it's okay. For those of you guys who really, truly love me, y'all know how I am. So yeah, her birthday is on Friday. And I feel bad. You know what I mean? I feel bad because I did have some plans for Christmas Day. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to, reconstruct that, or even maybe wait until a later day to do the things that I had wanted to do, because I don't want her to feel left out. And it's a real bummer. You know what I mean? Christmas and her birthday. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna stop blabbing on and just going on and on about my life. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. We are almost through this week. Okay. I can't wait until Christmas just for the sheer joy of being able to get up. I'm planning a big, beautiful breakfast with my children. Like I told you guys in the previous video, if you ain't got no money, you ain't got nothing else. If you ain't got nothing else to give your babies, but you got EBT benefits, make them kids a feast. Okay. Make them a feast. Even if you do have money, even if you do have everything okay in that area, still I feel like food is just really comforting. Food to me just almost always takes care of everything. We can sit down, bake them some cookies, I'll make them some, you know what I'm saying, we gonna get it cracking in here on Christmas Day. But on that note, you guys, again, I'm gonna say, remember to live, love, and elevate, and I will definitely see you guys in my next video. Peace, y'all.